All right, let's talk about the word unicorn. When you hear that in a business context, you're probably picturing that one person, right? That brilliant, almost mythical employee who's just amazing at everything. But what if we've been looking for the wrong thing this whole time? Today, we're digging into Gen Chem's guide, which is all about building a unicorn team.
So, right away, Chem just flips the script on us. The old myth is about finding that one rare individual. But the new idea, the one that's way more powerful, it's about creating an entire team that works like a unicorn. Innovative, unstoppable, and totally in sync. It's a huge shift from hunting for magic to actually building it yourself.
Okay, so if every team has this amazing potential, why do so many of them just fizzle out? Let's play detective for a minute and look at the common reasons why even really talented teams end up stumbling.
And really think about this for your own situation. Have you ever looked at your team and just felt like, we should be doing so much better? Like there's some invisible wall holding everyone back? Let's see if any of these next points feel a little too familiar.
According to Chem, a lot of the time, the problem starts right at the top. It usually comes down to one of these 5 common leadership mistakes. From getting way too focused on star players to just, a total lack of honest feedback, these are the silent killers of a team's momentum. Let's zoom in on a few of the biggest traps.
So first up, we have the star performer trap. This is a big one. When a leader puts all their attention on one or two high achievers, the rest of the team ecosystem starts to wither. It can breed resentment, create silos, and just completely kill any sense of collaboration.
And mistake number 2? Oh, it's a classic. It's assuming that a great company culture will just happen, like it's magic. But Kim's point is that if you're not intentionally designing your culture, you're basically leaving your team's most critical asset completely up to chance. And that's a huge gamble.
And then, of course, there's the micromanagement problem. Look, this is more than just being annoying. It's actually toxic. It tells your team, I don't trust you. And that single message just crushes creativity and stops people from ever taking real, meaningful ownership of their work. All right. Enough about the problems. Let's get to the good stuff, the solutions. And it all kicks off with a really fundamental shift in how you think, moving away from the old, broken playbook and embracing a totally new one.
This table lays it out so clearly. The unicorn way is all about making some key shifts. Instead of just hyping up individuals, you celebrate what the team accomplishes together. You swap out that need for control for real empowerment. And maybe most importantly, you stop seeing culture as a happy accident and start treating it like a core business strategy. Having a new mindset is great, but you have to ask, how do I actually do any of this? Well, this is where we get to the heart of Chem's work. A super practical 5-step action plan you can use to start building your own unicorn team literally today. And here they are, the 5 steps. It all starts with defining your values. Then you align everyone on the vision, empower your people, create rituals to bring it all to life, and finally build a solid feedback system. It's a really clear roadmap from idea to reality.
So step 1 is the foundation for everything. And listen, it's not about just sticking words like integrity on a poster. It's about getting the team together and figuring out what those values actually look like in day-to-day work. What are these specific behaviors? That's what makes values real.
Next up is alignment. Everyone on the team needs to be crystal clear on the North Star. The big mission you're all working towards. But it goes a step further. Every single person has to understand how their specific job connects to that mission. That's when people get truly fired up.
Step 3 is all about finding that perfect balance. You give your team the freedom and autonomy to do their thing, but you pair it with super clear goals. This way, your check-ins aren't about policing what they're doing. They're about helping them make progress. It's trust with a safety net.
I want to pause on this quote because it is so important. This is the biggest mental hurdle to get over. When you start thinking of culture as an active strategy, not just some random vibe in the office, everything changes. It becomes something you can intentionally build to help you win. So how do you do that? Well, you build it with rituals. These are the small, consistent things you do that bring your values to life. Things like sharing weekly wins or giving peer shoutouts. They might seem small, but they're not just nice to have. They are the very threads that weave a strong culture together. And finally, step 5, feedback. A unicorn team is a team that's always learning, and you just can't do that without honesty. That means you need a real system, a safe space where feedback is candid, it's constant, and it flows in every direction, not just from the boss down.
So as we start to pull this all together, it really comes down to one powerful word that drives this whole thing: intentionality. Amazing teams are built, not born. They don't just happen.
And this quote, it just nails that feeling so many leaders have, right? That frustration that things are just harder than they should be. That gut feeling that your team could be achieving so much more if you could just figure out what's holding them back.
And that's really the promise of this whole approach. This isn't just a bunch of nice ideas, it's a practical roadmap. It gives you the clarity and the structure you need to finally break through those invisible barriers and build a team that is powerful, focused, and truly great.
So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. After hearing all this, do you see the unicorn potential that's already sitting in your team? Or is your focus still on searching for that one perfect person? Because the big takeaway here is that the power to build something incredible is right there with you.